Hello everyone, and welcome to History of the Ancient World. Today, we journey back in time to the heart of ancient Mesoamerica, to a civilization both brilliant and brutal, whose legacy continues to fascinate us centuries later. We're talking about the Aztecs. Now, when you hear the word Aztec, what comes to mind? Towering pyramids, fierce warriors in elaborate costumes, or perhaps the darker tales of human sacrifice. While all these are parts of the story, they only scratch the surface of a deeply complex and sophisticated society. The people we call Aztecs actually referred to themselves as the Mexica. They were a Nahuatl-speaking people who arrived in the Valley of Mexico around the 13th century. According to their own legends, they migrated from a mythical homeland called Aztlan, which is where the name Aztec comes from. Their patron god, Huitzilopochtli, guided them on a long journey, promising them a sign to build their great city. An eagle perched on a cactus, devouring a snake. After years of wandering, they found this exact sign on a small, swampy island in the middle of Lake Texcoco. It was there, against all odds, that they founded their magnificent capital, Tenochtitlan, in the year 1325. This city would grow to become one of the largest and most impressive in the world at the time. A true marvel of engineering and urban planning. Imagine a bustling metropolis, built on water, a Venice of the New World. The Mexica constructed intricate systems of canals and causeways that connected the island city to the mainland. They also built chinampas, or floating gardens. These were man-made islands created by weaving reeds together and piling mud from the lake bed on top. These incredibly fertile plots of land allowed them to produce multiple harvests a year, feeding a massive population that may have reached over 200,000 people in the city alone. At the center of Tenochtitlan stood the sacred precinct, a walled complex filled with temples, palaces, and plazas. Dominating the skyline was the Templo Mayor, the Great Temple. This was a massive twin pyramid, dedicated to two of their most important deities, Huitzilopochtli, the god of war and the sun, and Tlaloc, the god of rain and agriculture. This dual dedication perfectly represents the core of Aztec life, the constant struggle for survival, dependent on both successful warfare and a bountiful harvest. The city was a vibrant hub of activity. Markets, like the one at Tlatelolco, buzzed with merchants from all corners of the empire, trading everything from cocoa beans and vanilla to exotic feathers, jaguar pelts, and obsidian. Aztec society was highly structured, almost like a pyramid itself. At the very top was the emperor, the Huitlatowani, which means great speaker. He was seen as a semi-divine ruler, the ultimate military, political, and religious leader. Below him were the nobility, the pipiltin. This class included high-ranking priests, military commanders, and government officials. They lived lives of privilege, owning land, and enjoying luxuries unavailable to the common people. The vast majority of the population belonged to the Macahualtin, the commoner class. This group included farmers, artisans, merchants, and low-ranking warriors. They were organized into social units called calpulli, which were like neighborhoods or clans. Each calpulli had its own school, temple, and elected leaders, and was responsible for paying taxes to the state, usually in the form of goods and labor. Education was mandatory for all Aztec children, regardless of their social class, which was quite progressive for the time. Boys and girls attended separate schools. Noble children went to the Calmecac, where they received advanced training in subjects like astronomy, law, religion, and military strategy, preparing them for leadership roles. Commoner children attended the Telpochcali, where the focus was more on practical skills and military training. For the Aztecs, warfare was not just about conquest. It was a sacred duty and a central part of their worldview. Their empire wasn't a single, unified state like the Roman Empire. Instead, it was a triple alliance of three city-states, Tenochtitlan, Texcoco, and Tlacopan. Tenochtitlan was by far the most powerful. They expanded their influence by conquering neighboring city-states. These conquered peoples were not forced to adopt Aztec culture, but were required to pay tribute or taxes to the empire. This tribute, consisting of food, precious materials, and human captives, was the lifeblood of the Aztec economy and fueled its expansion. This brings us to one of the most controversial aspects of Aztec civilization: human sacrifice. For the Aztecs, the universe was a precarious place, maintained by a constant struggle between light and darkness. They believed their gods needed nourishment to keep the cosmos in balance, and the most precious substance they could offer was human blood and hearts. The sun god, Huitzilopochtli, was in a daily battle against the forces of darkness. To ensure the sun would rise each morning, he needed the energy from human sacrifice. Victims were typically prisoners of war, captured in ritualistic battles known as flower wars. While this practice seems gruesome to us, for the Aztecs it was a solemn and necessary religious obligation, the highest honor one could give to the gods to ensure the survival of their world. Beyond war and religion, the Aztecs had a rich cultural life. They were skilled astronomers, developing a complex calendar system with two interlocking cycles. One was a 365-day solar calendar used for agriculture, and the other was a 265-day sacred calendar used for divination and scheduling religious ceremonies. The art was vibrant and expressive, seen in intricate stone sculptures, beautiful pottery, and stunning featherwork mosaics. They also had a form of writing based on pictographs and ideograms, which they used to record history, genealogies, and tribute lists in books called codices. The Aztec Empire, at its peak in the early 16th century, was a powerful and awe-inspiring force, but its dominance would be short-lived. In 1519, a small Spanish expedition led by Hernán Cortés arrived on the coast. The arrival of these strange men, with their steel armor, horses, and firearms, would change the course of history forever. The story of the Spanish conquest is a dramatic and tragic tale of alliances, betrayal, and devastating disease. In just 2 years, the mighty Aztec Empire, which had dominated Mesoamerica for a century, crumbled. Tenochtitlan was destroyed, and a new city, Mexico City, was built upon its ruins. Though their empire fell, the legacy of the Aztecs endures. Their language, Nahuatl, is still spoken by over 1 million people in Mexico. Their symbols, like the eagle and the snake, are emblazoned on the Mexican flag. Their cuisine, including staples like corn, beans, chilies, and chocolate, has influenced cooking around the globe. The story of the Aztecs is a powerful reminder of the incredible achievements of ancient peoples, the complexity of their beliefs, and the fragility of even the greatest empires. They were more than just fierce warriors. They were master engineers, brilliant astronomers, and creators of a unique and fascinating civilization that continues to capture our imagination. Thank you so much for joining us on this journey to the heart of the Aztec world. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to History of the Ancient World for more deep dives into the past. Let us know in the comments which ancient civilization you'd like to see us cover next. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.